Hello everyone and welcome to the Weekly Report. For Randall Riley, I'm Joshua Miller. Now, let's get to the numbers. This week in job board searches and clicks. Searches were once again up across the board. Truck driver searches increased by 2% week over week, 28% month over month, and 30% year over year. Clicks on driver postings, however, went the exact opposite direction. Clicks declined by 9% week over week, 10% month over month, and 1% year over year. Searches continued to rise following last week's record high. The large increase in searches for postings for inexperienced and trainee drivers directly led to that 2% week over week rise. Clicks were down for all major driver types apart from postings for team positions. Much like we saw last week, the trend of searches being up while clicks are down continues to suggest that while drivers are looking for jobs, they are being very selective when it comes to the posts they click on. This week in freight. Overall load postings dipped, but just slightly, falling by less than 1%. Dry van load postings rose by 4% week over week, while refrigerated climbed by 8% and flatbed fell by 6% week over week. Truck availability on the spot market dropped by 3%. Availability for dry van was down by 1%, while refrigerated truck availability fell by 5%. But flatbed remained unchanged. Spot rates dipped by 6 cents per mile week over week, and that led to dry van rates decreasing by 9 cents per mile, flatbed dropping by 6 cents, and refrigerated rates remaining flat week over week. At this time last year, we saw the spot market surge, responding to the first round of stimulus spending and a reopening economy. This year, however, we have no such overriding impetus. There are some notable factors contributing to keeping the market elevated, such as insufficient driver capacity, the child tax credit payments, and service challenges in the competitive intermodal segment. On the other hand, large stimulus payments have mostly played out, and material shortages are holding back production in many sectors, perhaps most notably the automotive sector. And while there is no indication that the COVID Delta variant is negatively impacting commerce thus far, only time will tell. Now, for our story of the week. In 2020, CDL schools were hit hard due to the restrictions put in place during the height of the COVID pandemic. Some facilities, in fact, had to cease all operations, while others resorted to creating hybrid instruction utilizing both online and socially distanced in-person training. As we get deeper into 2021, however, CDL training is rebounding from the COVID disruptions, with most institutions once again running at full capacity. Now, a little note here. Before I get into the nitty-gritty of the numbers, it is worth noting that the data we're about to discuss was collected in July of this year. Since that time, we have seen some COVID spikes due to the Delta variant, but more recent data is not yet available. That being said, here's the latest available data that we have in regard to CDL training. In 2021, a monthly average of 50,000 CDLs have been issued. That is a full 60% higher than the 2020 monthly average and is 14% higher than the 2019 average. CDL training is surging to the point that many trucking schools now find themselves booking classes out several months in advance. So what does all this mean for recruiting departments? Well, it means that more drivers will soon have 3 to 6 months experience, depending on when they completed their CDL training. If your fleet is among those hiring drivers with little experience, the data seems to tell us that there will soon be an increase in drivers meeting the minimum requirements within the next few months. Drivers with 12 to 24 months experience will be low, as there were fewer drivers completing training in 2020. If your carrier requires 1 to 2 years experience, you can expect a smaller pool of drivers to hire from for a bit longer. If your fleet is in desperate need of drivers, it may be prudent to perform a cost-benefit analysis of reducing your required experience level, at least until more drivers are able to accrue more driving experience. And that does it for this week's report. Thanks so much for joining us. We look forward to having you back here for updated stats and a new story of the week. New reports debut every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Central Time on our Randall Riley blog page and our YouTube channel. Until then, have a great week, everybody.